Well, guys, Cannondale have fixed it. And what they've fixed is the problem with the Super 6 Evo. Now, the Super 6 Evo had an issue with the steerer and the frame because the way that the integration had worked on that bike is the cables went through a space at the front of the frame and in the front of the steerer. So the handlebars couldn't rotate too far, otherwise they would sever the cables that were going down through the integration. So what Cannondale did is they put a pin in the steerer and they put a stop on the frame. So as you turn your handlebars, the pin would hit the stop and then the cables wouldn't be severed. But the problem with this design is if the handlebars were abruptly hitting that stop, or you had a small crash or it fell over at a cafe, it could hit that stop so hard that it delaminates and damages the frame at that stop point. So therefore then you've got a major repair just from a minor incident. So let's roll that intro and let's have a bit of a discussion about what Cannondale have done to fix it. Well, over there on the other side of the continent, down in Melbourne, Victoria, there's a guy called Ray, and he works for Leisure Technique, and he originally identified the problem with the Super 6 Evo that as he had, because he's a bike repairer and he had bikes coming in which had this problem where the frame was delaminated. So people said, oh, can you fix it? And of course he could just fix up the resin and the carbon, but it could happen again. So what he did is he developed the fix by doing a 3D printed metal piece that fitted into the frame, so when the handlebars would turn, the stop wouldn't hit the carbon, it would hit this titanium piece that looked like a kind of a circlip. And he also offered this as a program that you could buy. I don't know if he was paying, he might have even given it for free, I'm not too sure. But you could get this off him, off Rail, and then you could print out your own circlip and get some carbon repairer wherever you are in the world to insert this into your bike, and your bike then would be reinforced, so when this pin hit that, or if you dropped your bike or it fell over, it wouldn't wreck your frame. So that was pretty good of him to do that. But in the meantime, since he offered that, Cannondale have actually been looking at that problem themselves, and they've come up with their own solution. And what they've done is they've done a similar thing, but if you can imagine, it looks like a whole circlip like this. That was Rail's design. Well, what they've done is they've taken the circlip part out and they just have the end. So it's just two separate pieces that have been glued onto the frame to act as stops. Now, maybe they did this because they didn't think it was necessary. They wanted to keep the weight of the frame near the specified amount. I don't know, but they've decided just to put the metal inserts at the point where the pin is, not connect them together where it goes around the whole front of the frame. So it's really good that this is where we've got smaller YouTubers identifying something, and the manufacturers, instead of trying to dismiss it or ignore it, they've actually acknowledged someone who's in the industry and taken that on board and gone, oh look, really this is a bit of a problem, and we're going to develop a fix for it. So I really have to acknowledge that Cannondale has really done some good work here. So in conclusion, I really would like to focus on the fact that we have a few of these recalls. We had the SL7 and now we've had this Cannondale, and they're changing the design of the bike to make the bike better. They're improving the bike and they're removing that fault that has been identified. And this is a really good thing. And I like the way that, we have a small YouTuber or someone who's working in the industry, and he's just like a very small business, a one-man show that does bike repairs in Melbourne. And what Cannondale has done, they've acknowledged this as a problem, they've taken it on board and they've fixed it. And so you have this two-way road of information that's going backwards and forwards. So manufacturers can offer a better product to the consumers, and I think that's really good. And I'd like to see more of this, because I think that it's coming out in the market that the quality control of some of these very expensive bikes is probably not that great, or could be better, should I say. And a lot of these smaller, direct from the factory Chinese brands are really showing them up. And I don't know if you've seen, but Hambini did one on the Trifox, and that's just like a real cheapy frame. And the quality control was as good as these expensive $8,000 frames, if not better. And I think this is where some of these big frames can lift up their socks. And this is an example of Cannondale now improving that design and making it better for the consumers. Well, anyway, guys, leave your comments down below. And if you like the video, smash that like button and subscribe button. And that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. And I will see you next vid. Cheers.